Excellency Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and Mrs. Lawrence Wong, First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, the esteemed members of the Singaporean delegation, my fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening to you all. Tonight we are honored to have Prime Minister and Mrs. Lawrence Wong here in Manila with us in a fitting celebration of the friendship of the Philippines and of Singapore. This strong friendship is underpinned by the positive outcomes of our exchanges of more than 5 decades, soon to be 6 decades. Our two governments have enjoyed frequent exchanges of official visits over several administrations, which have grounded our meaningful consultations on global and regional issues. We are also pleased with the Philippine-Singapore tapestry of business ties across many sectors of our economies, which continues to drive the prosperity of our peoples and the wider region. Moreover, we have witnessed continued expansion in travel, education, and expatriation between our two peoples, leading to multi-generational relationships and friendships. Our shared aspirations for peace, security, and prosperity, and our adherence to international law and a rules-based order have been our ballast that we need in our rather turbulent world, drastically different to that which initially saw the creation of the United Nations and of ASEAN. And with the steady hands of leaders like Prime Minister Wong, I am confident in the continued expansion and strengthening of our bilateral relations. To our Singaporean guests tonight, allow for me to share with you our country's world-renowned hospitality by showcasing the best of Philippine culture and cuisine. With this, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I offer a toast. I invite you to rise and join me in a toast. To Prime Minister Lawrence Wong and Mrs. Lawrence Wong, to the valued ties between the Philippines and Singapore, may it never miss a beat, and to the warm friendship between Filipinos and Singaporeans. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
May we invite His Excellency, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, to deliver his remarks.
Your Excellency, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I thank President Marcos Jr. for the warm hospitality extended to me and the Singapore delegation, as well as many Singaporeans who have flown in here tonight for this dinner. This is my first visit to the Philippines as Prime Minister. It is also my first visit overseas since the last recent general election. And I'm honored that I have the chance to come here to the Philippines. And I'm glad that it's taking place at a time when our two countries are more connected than ever. The transport links between our countries have grown. We upgraded the Singapore-Philippines Air Service Agreement last year, and this has enabled more flight connectivity and more travelers flying from and through Singapore to reach airports across the Philippines. Now, Singapore Airlines Group flies to 5 destinations in the Philippines, and Scoot has launched new flights to Iloilo. This improved air connectivity will enable more exchanges between our people. There is already a vibrant Filipino community in Singapore. They contribute their talents across various fields from design to healthcare, and they enrich our multicultural society. There are also many Singapore and Philippine companies working together for mutual benefit in areas ranging from logistics and digital infrastructure to sustainability and carbon credits. But there's still much more that we can do together. And this afternoon, the President and I discussed some priority areas for cooperation. These include renewable energy and carbon credits. Our joint initiatives will support our climate goals, boost energy resilience, and unlock new opportunities in the green economy. Opportunities not just for our two countries, but for the entire ASEAN region, including putting in place the building blocks for the new ASEAN power grid. The story of the Negros bleeding heart pigeon is an instructive one of how our two countries come together for a shared common goal. The Negros bleeding heart pigeon is so named because it has a vibrant red patch on its chest. This bird is found in the Negros and Panay Islands, and it is critically endangered. The Philippines wants to safeguard the pigeon from extinction. So Mandai Wildlife Group worked with various partners to establish the first conservation breeding program for the pigeons outside of the Philippines. They started with just 3 pairs of pigeons in 2021, and I'm glad that these birds have bred successfully. We can't get birth rates up in Singapore, but we can get the birth rates of pigeons successfully in. Earlier this year, 10 of the offspring will return to the Philippines, and they will be released back into their natural habitat. And the remaining pigeons will remain in Singapore for conservation breeding efforts. So it's one program, but it symbolizes the efforts of our two countries coming together, the good that we can do together when we partner each other, including protecting our biodiversity, sustainability, and achieving outcomes for the good of humanity. Excellencies, the Singapore-Philippines partnership is built on firm and growing connections between our countries, and I look forward to working with President Marcos Jr. to take it to even greater heights. So, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite you to join me in a toast. Please rise to the continued good health and success of President Marcos Jr. and First Lady Araneta Marcos, to the peace, progress, and prosperity of the Philippines, and to the enduring friendship between our countries and our peoples. Cheers.